Hi, and welcome to FAM 150, Social and Professional Development. My name is Samantha Anderson, and I'm going to be your instructor for this class. This is my contact information, my email address, and my phone number. This information is also in Canvas, so you don't have to get it from here, but I just wanted to let you know that I do not have an office on campus. I actually live out of state, so you won't be able to just drop by and ask me a question or something like that. Email is the best way to get a hold of me. You can text me also if you need to get a response and I'm not answering your email for some reason. I will absolutely try to answer your email within 24 hours. I usually am very much on the ball with checking that because I know that sometimes things are urgent and you need to know something right away. If you need to have more of a meeting, a conversation, please email me or text me to try to set up a phone call, and we can do that as well. Okay, so this is the information for the textbook and all the supplies that you'll need for the class. So here's a picture of the textbook. It's Foundations of Family and Consumer Sciences. You can get it used or off of the USM bookstore. It should be fairly easy to find. We've been using this one for a while. You'll also be using, for a lot of the assignments, the USM Career Services Guide. So this is a free download. You'll download a PDF file straight from the USM Career Services website. There's a link to where you download that right within the assignments that you need, where you need it. So it should be very easy for you to find. As you pull up the assignment, it'll say, please refer to the USM Career Services Guide, and you just click on that right there, and that should download it. So just save a copy of that PDF and put it somewhere where you can refer back to it often because you will be using that for a lot of different assignments and going back to it like for every week of the class. So just make sure you keep that somewhere handy. But it is a free download and it should be really easy to find. Let me know if you're having trouble figuring that out. And then there's also some additional online articles that are linked just within Canvas. So nothing else that you have to purchase. Just the textbook, everything else is on the website. Okay, so a quick overview of the assignments. I go into a whole lot more detail on Canvas with instructions and all the descriptions of exactly what you're going to be doing. But basically, there's normal quizzes and tests, just like every other class, and there's discussion boards that those should look pretty similar to most other classes that you'll just be answering some questions, replying back to two of your classmates. We'll just be having conversations about the topics that would take the place of what we would be discussing in class. One of the things that you might not be used to that's going to be a little bit of extra work for you is the video lecture participation grades. So I make video lectures, and we're going to count this as kind of like your class attendance. So if you came to class and I gave a lecture, you would be taking notes on what I'm talking about and we'd be interacting. We can't do that. So I just want to make sure that you are watching the video lectures that I prepare for each chapter. So within those lectures, there will be questions, and I'll ask you a question, and then you'll have to fill in your answer into the Dropbox of those assignments. So you're not going to know what the question is until you watch the video lecture. And so there are 2 or 3 chapters for each week, and there's only going to be one participation question. So if you go through a video lecture and it does not have a participation question, don't worry. It's going to be in one of the other chapters for that week. So as long as you're watching all of the lectures, you will be just fine. They're easy questions. This is not meant to trip anybody up. It's just to help make sure that you're watching the lectures. And again, it's just kind of like an attendance grade, like if you were coming to class. The main big assignment that I want to talk about is the professionalism project. Oh, I skipped over public policy. That's just a quick chart that you're going to be answering about a public policy that's already in existence. I don't want you to stress too much about that assignment. It's pretty self-explanatory, and it is based on the 5 I's of public policy that are found in Chapter 5. So that's just a short written assignment that you'll be doing. Okay, so the professionalism project, each week of the 6 weeks of this term, there's going to be a like one of the steps or one component of this big project. So we've got one whole big project and these steps kind of all fit together, but something's going to be due every week for this project. So it's really, really important to plan ahead for this. So you've got your 4-year goals, your pathways experience, your intended career research, your personal branding, elevator pitch, and your resume. So each week you're going to be turning in one little section of this project, and they kind of are assignments that just stand alone. You don't really need to connect the assignments in any way, these different steps of the project, but each of these steps of this professionalism project is its own assignment, and then it's a total for the whole project. So you will be graded on each of these little sections, and there's something due every single week. Some of the assignments will require you to make an appointment for something. You're going to need to plan ahead. It's not something that the morning of the due date you're going to be able to just pull off and get it done in an hour. It's nothing that's very difficult to do or complicated, but it's just going to take some time and some planning. So I will go into that in a little more detail in just a second. Okay, so the expectations for the class. Late work is only for emergencies, and you have to have an excused absence from the Office of Student Affairs. So if you have to work overtime or something like that, that's really not an emergency. That's kind of just everyday life. And I know that everyone's busy and all types of things are going to come up in your life. But that's why I need you to plan ahead. For most of the everyday type of life situations, I won't be accepting late work. If you do have something that's just completely unavoidable, comes out of the blue, and it's an extreme emergency, then I'll absolutely work with you. Just send me an email right away so that I know what's going on, and then you can go through the process of getting an excused absence. Technical difficulties do not count for an excused absence as far as turning in something late. So if you're having problems with your computer, please back up everything, send a copy of your homework to yourself in an email or save it onto your Google Drive or whatever way that you can to back it up, because technical difficulties will not be an acceptable excuse to turn in something late. Staying on schedule. So this class moves really, really quickly. We're fitting a whole semester's worth of assignments into 6 weeks. It's really, really fast. You will probably feel overwhelmed with the amount of stuff you have to do every single week. A lot of people like these shortened classes because they can get twice as many credits in one semester, and that is great, but it really does mean you're doubling up on the amount of stuff that you're doing every week. So it moves very, very quickly. There's a bunch of assignments due every single week. So if you have a really busy schedule and you're already feeling overwhelmed and you're not sure about this class, really look at the assignments and make sure that this is something that you can do and be successful at. So back to the planning ahead for the professionalism project. Some of the things you're going to be required to do, you might need to make an appointment to meet with your advisor. Okay, so if you wait until the morning of the due date and then you call up your advisor and they say, oh, I can't meet with you until next week, well, then you're going to have a problem on your hands. Some of them, it's like go to a career fair. So if there's something like that that you want to do to fulfill those assignments and the career fair happens to be falling after the due date, just communicate with me what's going on and I can work with you. If it's something that's a set date that you cannot get around, I won't be able to work with you if you just procrastinate and you say, well, my advisor can't meet with me because I waited until the last minute to try to make the appointment. So start looking at those right away. Look ahead several weeks so that you know what's going to be expected of you in the weeks to come. So those things are assignments that are going to take more planning. It's not something that you can just sit down and type out on your computer and you're done. You're going to have to go to an appointment, go to a career fair. There's different things going on campus that you might be going to. You might have to set up an interview with someone or anyway, so those are things that you're going to need to plan ahead for. So be forewarned that you really need to look at those assignments a couple weeks out and make sure that you're planning ahead. Also, there's no extra credit. at the end of the semester when all the grades are being counted, I usually get some panicked emails from students wondering what they can do to bump up their grade. And at that point, unfortunately, I'll tell you it is too late, and I'm not just going to give out free points for no reason on the last day of class when I'm getting ready to submit my grades. Really, the best way to do well in this class and to be successful is just to turn in your best work on time every time. And if you can do that and be consistent, then you won't have to send me one of those panicking emails, and I won't have to feel bad about telling you no when it comes to that last couple days of the class term. So please just reach out if you have any questions at all. I am here to help. I want to help you be successful in this class. It can be a little intimidating with all the long list of assignments and things that we've got going on, but it really is a great class. It will really help you start to think about your future when you're planning out your education here at USM and what field that you might be interested in going into. It really can be a very beneficial class to help you for your future. So I would just say email me if you're feeling overwhelmed, email me if you have any questions. I'll absolutely answer you as quickly as possible, and I'm always here to help. I hope we have a great class, and I'll talk to you soon.